Hello. This is Dirty Truckin'. Up late here in Detroit. You all know my story about Warren Truck Plant. It's a whole lot more than those few videos. A whole lot more that needs to be told in those few videos. But what if you find out, now you're an employee on a job, some stuff started happening, things coming up missing, people starting to mess with you, aggravate you, just all sorts of unusual problems. Your coworkers start acting weird all of a sudden, saying weird shit. One of them that act like they got an hostile towards you, just for no reason. And I mean, they just flip for no reason. What if you find out it really was for them to try to get you to quit? And I thought about that. And I have always thought that all this weird shit that was going on, the aggravation on the job, because the job, as soon as I get on it, it'd be okay. Then all of a sudden, I noticed what happens when I get on a job. It never fails. I get on a job, even if it was over the road, I noticed the same stuff start happening, especially in trucking. I would start having the same trucking issues no matter what truck I'm in. The same issues would start. Codes, air leaks, tires, maintenance issues. And I was always wondering that. I'm like, every truck, the exact damn same shit. Coolant problems. Then weird stuff happening on the job. The workers acting funny. Trying to doing stuff to get you to respond to. Now, I warn people about doing stuff to get somebody to respond to. Because if they respond to what it is you doing, deliberate, you better be damn ready and able to handle the response you get. Some people like to fuck with people and think they're not going to get a response. Then some people like to fuck with people and is not prepared for that response that they're going to get. They're not expecting that person that they were fucking with is going to respond to them back. So that's why I tell people, you ought not be messing with people out here. Don't be fucking with nobody. Don't be causing problems. Don't be doing all this weird shit. You shouldn't be doing none of that. But this is leading to a point here. What if you found out? I'm just thinking. All that shit happened to me at Warren Truck Plant. And I read some of them documents to you online. Some brief stuff I found there. Something I, pinned out and I thought was important. But what if you found out that, okay, wait a minute, let me pinpoint the documents. Now, mind you, the stuff that was written, the majority of it was men. The comments, the union steward, the doctor, all that writing and saying this stuff about me were from men. And it was, I think it was like maybe, out of all that, the majority of it was men. Men that I don't even fucking associate with. I knew them. They knew me. So when I'm starting to think, did these motherfuckers in the plant, no, you couldn't have confused me with somebody else. And I'm thinking back. When I was on second shift at Warren Truck Plant. Now, there was a girl in the plant on second shift who I was told did have a mental issue. And when Daimler Chrysler took over, when Chrysler became Daimler Chrysler, Warren Truck Plant became under Daimler Chrysler. The majority of us on day shift, some of the low seniority on day shift end up getting sent to nights. And I was one of them. And they had me working with that girl. The girl was airbag installed on the steering wheel. I was told that girl had a mental issue. Okay, but she working at the plant. Ain't my business. So I'm thinking, could they have confused me with her? Ain't no way in hell. That's too big of a motherfucking mistake. And then now, what if you found out your employer was having meetings about you behind your back and not telling you? You know, is that grounds for a lawsuit? Is that grounds for, you know, some legal action? I mean, what would there be grounds for? What if you found out your employer and a group of employees had a meeting about you behind your back? So what they call it is, that's a one-sided meeting where they allowed people to get together, group up in a meeting, and discuss a particular individual without telling them, without their knowledge. They don't even know the meeting took place. But yet you got your workers looking at you, acting weird and acting funny. You don't know nothing about it. That they had a meeting. What if somebody told you they had a meeting about you, about how to deal with you? A meeting on how to deal with you? Deal with you? What the fuck are you, a robot? Extraterrestrial? It? What do you mean you having a meeting on how to deal with you? What kind of shit is that? Now, they try to accuse me of being crazy, but that sounds crazy as hell. You had a secret meeting, employers and workers grouped up, come up with a bunch of nonsense like some individual was doing something to where you had to get together and have a motherfucking meeting about this individual without their knowledge. So that means you were somewhere grouped up in a meeting talking about this person who has no idea of what the hell you talking about. Sounds like what happened to me at Warren Truck Plant. Because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. They just told me I had to go see a doctor to save my job. That's all I knew. And I was getting bits and pieces here from here and there. Sounds like some Warren Truck shit. How do you have a meeting about somebody and that person is not included in the meeting to defend themselves or even hear what the fuck you accusing or talking about? How do you have a meeting behind somebody's back? I've never heard of that. Oh, and how to deal with somebody, and then the meeting, group of men need to have a meeting of how to deal with me. What do you mean, deal with me? I'm not doing nothing out of ordinary. But telling you to do your job like I'm doing my job. And if your job is involved with me doing my job, then you need to do your job. But see, I deal with people that like to make up shit. They like to start shit and do shit so they can group up and meet about the shit. That's who I deal with. And I'm sick of the shit. How in the hell do you have a meeting about somebody, an employee? These are employees, workers, having a meeting about another employee and they ain't told the employee. How do you do that shit? See, that's how shit get out of context. That's how shit get told wrong. That's how the wrong motherfucker end up put off their goddamn job. secret meetings behind that employee's back. What if they found out you did that? What if they found out you had a meeting behind that employee's back? What should happen to you? What should happen to you? What if that employee found out that you had a meeting behind their back on how to deal with them? Deal with them? What the fuck? Deal with them? See, this would happen when you let people get complacent in their job, they don't do their job, and then when somebody like me come around asking them to do their job, they got a problem. I got to deal with the attitude. Now I'm disrupting their lazy time. I'm interfering with them sitting around and not doing nothing. Now you got to go have secret meetings behind my back to deal with me. What the fuck do you mean, deal with me? Hey, they got attorneys to deal with this when they find this shit out. And I hope they find this shit out about Warren Truck Plant. Though all these years that went by, it's still got to be a way they could be held accountable for this shit. What if they find out all this shit transpired because a group of men, some workers, got together, made up a lie? No, it was only one. Mario, the one did that shit at Warren Truck Plant. The union got involved. The union backstabbed me. As a commenter said on my YouTube page, I was blackballed by my own union. I was blackballed. And I was suing for a constructive discharge because that's what it was. My employer was doing stuff to cause me to quit. And that's what that is called. It's called a constructive discharge. And any employer I work at and that starts happening at can be sued for that. Because that's what it's called. It's called a constructive discharge. That's where you have begun to do things to make it intolerable under normal circumstances for me to work there. And if somebody else was put through those same things, it would be deemed intolerable. If they deem it intolerable, that's called a constructive discharge. Constructive discharge. That's that get fired shit they've been doing. That's exactly what they've been doing. It's called a constructive discharge. And you can be sued for that. The individuals doing the shit can be sued for that. The employer can be sued for that. Management can be sued for that. Supervisors can be sued for that. Bosses can be sued for that. Employees, co-workers can be sued for that. If their investigation proves that you were involved, and that is in fact what was going on. Because all this strange shit can't be happening for no reason. But that's a constructive discharge, where your employer is doing something happening so intolerable on your job that it forces you quit from it. That's what happened to me at Chrysler. They made up a lie. Who the hell in their right frame of mind will continue to be an employee at Warren Truck Plant after their employer did that to them? Not once, but twice. Twice. You accused me of harassment, trying to say that I was crazy, then covered it up, then told a co-worker that accused me of it to go take out a PPO, which was denied, which therefore after it was denied, you should have ceased and put a stop to what the fuck you were doing. Because that means they didn't believe what the fuck he was saying. But did they do that? No. No. You went signing documents, placing me on, choosing what type of disability or layoff status I wanted, signed your name to it, didn't give me a copy. I had to file a lawsuit after I quit to get these documents to see what to try to get some type of truth to what was going on. But that was in '05, long after I quit. Then unemployment sit up there and waited till after I quit to send me a letter telling me I needed to satisfy that 4,344 quarterly work hours to get my benefits. When I was placed off by the employer. I quit December 16th. One of those notices, one of those unemployment letters I read to you was dated but December 18th, about something on December 18th they made a decision on. That's what they do. They sit around and wait till after you quit so they can justify writing that bullshit. When everything they needed was right there. That I had been placed off on a layoff by Rebecca long before I quit. In July, I was on a layoff and was still on a layoff, according to them. But I didn't know I was on a layoff. All I knew, I was off on a Code 31 I got back from. And then when I got off the second time, they couldn't. Chrysler, let me tell you why they couldn't use the Code 31 again. Because the benefits people that pays that out, it was outside company that pays out the second portion of that benefit. When they found out that I was sitting home and not going to the doctor, and it was months in between before, they contacted Chrysler and got me back to work. That's how I got back to work. That was in '03. So Chrysler got smart in '04 when they put me off again. You put me off again just because I questioned why you put me off. That's how I ended up off in 2004. I swear to God, if I had that Bible, I put my hand on it. They put me off in 2004 because I filed a grievance demanding answers of why they put me off in '03. And I wanted my back pay. I ended up getting put off again because I filed a goddamn grievance in '04. Then they took me through this charade of going to the doctor again and handpicked the doctor. And then he sent that old fucked up ass evaluation over there and I never got back. Never got back. So when I ended up quitting, I said, you're not going to do this shit to me. I was at Chrysler for 5 years. From 99 to '03, I had no problems in that plant. I didn't even know I knew labor relations was upstairs. I ain't never been up there to see them or nobody else in the goddamn plant until Mario did that bullshit, said that shit. But my employer didn't find that strange. I'm employee of the month. You had just had me up front taking pictures with the big wigs and the plant manager, and I believe that was some folks from upstairs at labor relations. Then I had somebody come down on the line to tell me, hey, they watch you around here. There's some positive things being said. So I knew something good was about to happen. Then all of a sudden, this crazy story come popping up. This I'm harassing somebody shit popped up. See, that's what they do when they want to try to get rid of you. Maybe somebody else wanted the position. And you had to get rid of me because they was picking me. They had me in mind. So they had to get rid of me to get whatever the position was. I think it was something good finna happen to me in that plant. Because I got word of it from somebody who was a trusted individual in the plant. I see him periodically walk up and down the line when we launched a new vehicle. And he said, hey, they watch it. But then he also gave me a warning. He let me know that they were talking about up in there. And was wondering how they knew so much about my business. Was looking around all up over my station in the plant. He said, well, they got cameras on you or something? How they know all about you? They know a lot about you, about your business. He was just letting me know. that is some chatter going on up in the plant. See, when they start that old chatter shit, that talking shit, still, I ignored it. I mean, people get talked about. I don't give a fuck. I'm there to work, do my job I was assigned for. I was DR air cleaner install. I held positions on both sides of the line for that same position. Left and right. DR air cleaner install. I canvassed for that job, and that's the job I was on until I was put off my job because of the employer. But ain't that some dirty shit? Just say, for instance, you get wind, you find out that your employer or some businesses they associated with and some co-workers had some meeting about you on how to deal with you. And you don't even know what the fuck they talking about. Deal with what? What do you got to deal with? The way you got to have some secret meeting not involving the person you talking about. That sounds shady to me. And a little bit, shit. Hell, I don't want to say it's illegal. But, I don't think it's a company protocol to be doing some shit like that. You got a problem with an employee. There's some issues you claiming that's with an employee. So you gonna have a meeting, but you don't involve the employee that you discussing. That sounds like y'all getting together, getting some stories together to try to run some bullshit on that employee. What if you found that out? What if you found out that they had a meeting about you and didn't tell you? What if that meeting about you led to you being put off your job? Losing your house, your income, everything. But what if you found out that's what that meeting and you ain't got a clue? Still to this day, I don't have a clue. They just start acting strange and doing strange shit all of it. Look, I don't cheat in anything I do. And let me tell you what type of person I was when I was at Warren Truck Plant. I hired in as 119 there. I had to canvas for a job that stopped them from come getting me. Supervisors would come get me because I was a damn hellified assembler up in there. I made that shit. I done had supervisors come down the line and tell me, you make this shit look easy. The hardest job, I canvassed for the hardest job nobody wanted. Those things, it sounds like DR air cleaning install sounds easy, but I think it's the right or left side. I don't know which one is which, how they go in the plant. One of the sides I canvassed for, it wasn't that easy to get that damn hose on there to go to that air cleaner on top of that engine. It just wasn't. Others try to do it. They be hanging off the truck going down the fucking line. They had me for relief. I was a relief person. Relieving zone 1 and 2. I was all the way up the front of the line, all the way down to my zone. To be a relief person, you got to know to do. You got to be able to do every job on that side you're relieving. I was a relief person. 2 zones. My old zone, and then the one I wanted to canvas in. All the way to the front of the line, to the back of the line, to the back of the plant, where they went around to put the bumpers on. I did relief. I was a relief person. Now, they used to come get me, and till I got tired of it. So I canvassed for a job. I said, you got all these new other 119 days sitting up in here, up there at the state, the temporaries up here, part-time, sitting up there at the table waiting to be for a job, but you coming, they will pull me off a job I'm already on to go do another job. That's how good I was. Now, I remember one time they tried to use me to embarrass a worker there. He wasn't doing his job quite the way they wanted him to. Something was going on. And they put me up there on his job, had me relieve him. Because I can do the job good. And everything can flow smooth. But they did it to use me to try to embarrass that dude. And I picked up on it. I said, no, y'all ain't finna use me for this shit. Y'all ain't gonna be doing that goddamn shit. You ain't finna use me to embarrass nobody. Now, if you got an issue with him and the way he worked, that's between you and him. But you ain't finna use me to embarrass, because I'm good. Any job I get on gonna be done to its fullest. That's how I was in the plant. I done been all over the motherfucking plant. From Huntsville, when the truck is finished, before it go out into the yard. Body drop. Paint. Now, I ain't put the paint on, but they had me over there doing a little rub down and paint. I even had the gravy job where you wash the big wigs' cars. All you do is wash and clean their car. That's it. That was it. Graviest job in the plant. Because they had a special place for them to park. And they get their cars washed every day. And that was a job, to wash their cars. Clean them out. That was it. I had an easy job where all you do is stick a styrofoam on the side of the goddamn door before the motherfucking truck go out in the yard. That's before I won the canvas of my job. Now, how do I go from doing something like that to being crazy and flipped out? I tell you how. Motherfucking lies. Motherfuckers sitting around because you ain't down with the program, or you might have rejected some damn body, or they can't get in your business like they want to, or you ain't hanging out with them, so now you become the talk. And they're gonna keep talking until you become the problem. And then after that, you're gonna be the problem that they need to get rid of, because they talking. All them documents I read, them was men saying that shit. Men. So, what is it? You realize I ain't one you can get with? I ain't easy? So you want to talk about some shit? Start doing shit to try to make me quit? See, that's what happens when you let certain people continue to do the shit they do on the damn job. And then when somebody actually come to the damn job, you done hired in to actually do their goddamn job. Now it's a problem. It's a conflict of work. I got to deal with the attitude of the one that don't want to do no work, always trying to tell you he ain't finna do no work. He ain't got to do shit. You got to deal with this to get something done, which is his motherfucking job. But in the meantime, you got to listen to this motherfucker tell you, I ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. But if you stop running your mouth, maybe I do. Stop running my mouth. You got a lot of nerve. That's your job, to do what you was just told to do. Me saying anything to you ain't stopping you from doing that. But this is what I got to deal with. I got to deal with motherfuckers telling me this shit. Attitudes. Telling me what they ain't gonna do. But if one of the men co-workers come over there and need something done, they own it. No questions. You don't hear them telling them that if you stop running your mouth, not me. And I'm always listening to this motherfucker. That's me. That's what they say. I overheard one say that day. I overheard somebody say that. Try to clean it up. Try to play like it wasn't talking about me. I'm the only one just walked in. I'm like, you gonna be real about it, man. Man up about it. Be trying to switch up your motherfucking story because I walked in and heard you and said something. Or you done let something slip and then I repeat it and then somebody tells me you lying. Now what should happen to somebody that tell you a lie on the job? What if somebody told you they had a meeting about you behind your back? One of the places you deal with in trucking, Then he throw in there 2 more places. Yeah, it was about 3 places. They had a meeting with you. They didn't tell you about it. Okay. Somebody walked by of authority. You go ahead and throw that out there. Hey, I was just told somebody y'all was having meetings about me behind my back. Oh, now you hear this individual's full of shit. Okay. What's happened to full of shit? You just stood there and told me a goddamn lie. Now, who's lying? Either he's lying or the other one's lying. See, this is what happened at Warren Truck Plant. Mario lied on me. The plant never called me anywhere. I remember the plant told me, somebody in the plant, I think somebody up in labor relations who was in that meeting before they walked me out, escorted me out of the plant. I think that's when it took off. They told me that they sent for me on the line. No, you didn't. I got a supervisor. His name was Jeff. If you sent for me, he would have came and got me off the line and told me to go see labor relations. You didn't send for me. Anybody sent for by labor relations ends up upstairs at labor relations. You didn't send for me. No, all this took place behind my back without my knowledge. It's nothing but men going around talking and saying shit. All that shit I read was hearsay, gossip shit, talking on the damn line. Now, none of that shit was any description of why the employer actually put me off my job. It didn't, nothing in there to say, hey, Juanita is harassing Mario, and so we sending her for some psychiatric or whatever. None of that. You have no documentation. All you got is a bunch of, like, these niggas was writing stories. And I was wondering how the union had all these conversations, some of the conversations I was having on the line with other co-workers. How did this union official know this shit and you don't even work on the line? That's what I say. You got to be leery of your co-workers. See, like when I'm on YouTube, that's another thing. All the rest of you out there, I'm going to put this out there for you. If you're out there making YouTube videos and you at work, and beware of your co-workers. If you don't listen to anything, you listen to that. Beware of your co-workers. All of them ain't your friend. All of them ain't happy you making YouTube videos. All of them ain't happy something good for you to happen on YouTube. All of them ain't happy. Be leery of your co-workers. Because all of them ain't your friend. You just work with them. Talking about I subscribed and all. Be leery of why they subscribing. Because if some stuff start happening, you start having problems, 9 times out of 10, it's probably one of those subscribing co-workers. So you can take it from dirty trucking. I done been through hell with Warren Truck Plant, and I'm still trying to get them held accountable for it. They thought this shit was a game. They didn't pay me. I'm supposed to pull my pay out my ass, out the casino. I don't know what they thought. I had a lawsuit. That's the only way I was expecting my payment. I wasn't going to play no game for it. This wasn't no game. What you did wasn't no game. I lost my house. I lost everything. I and my son ended up homeless. How dare you play a motherfucking game with me? Because you want to cover up what the fuck you did. You didn't want the world to know. You need to come with some checks. You owe me all them years of back pay. You owe me all those years of profit sharing. I should be getting ready to retire now in a couple more years from the plant. I should be getting ready to retire. Chrysler owe me a lot of money for what they did to me. And I can't let that go. Ain't nobody else responsible for paying me but them. And the only way I know to get paid is through them and buy a check with my name on it that I go cash. The casino didn't do to me what Chrysler did. So I ain't got no business going down there taking my money, trying to win money I didn't get through the lawsuit. I ain't got no business doing that. So I'm finna put an end to that. This gambling shit is done. I'm tired of it. Because I ain't doing nothing but losing my money. Every time I go down there, somebody else win. And that's what I resorted to when the lawsuit got dismissed. They owe me money. So I'm down there trying to take my money to win money I should have got through the lawsuit. And it got broke. And I'm tired of it. This is an employer that fucked over me. This is an employer that covered up fucking over me. And every place I've been since then seems to have some type of knowledge of this. And because that employer, Warren Truck Plant, got away with this. See, what happened to Cardi B? I was so glad when Cardi B won her lawsuit. When that girl on YouTube, whatever she was, said that shit about her. I was glad. And happy for her. See, because she had that money to go after that goddamn girl and hold her accountable. See, Chrysler put me off my job and cut my money off. So they knew exactly what they was doing. No money, you can't do shit. No money, you can't do shit. And that's why they like to keep me broke here. I'm traipsing down to the casino. I get broke. Because they don't want me to have money to be able to pay for legal fees, legal attorneys to come after them. And I peeped that. But that's okay. I ain't got to come after you. God know about this. Yeah, I want justice. But I ain't got it. So I'm just steady making videos, telling my story over and over again. See, if they'd have done something then when it happened, what happened to Cardi B would have never happened to her. Or anybody else. Because my lawsuit against Warren Truck Plant would have been the go-to case to refer to put a stop to that. Because them co-workers doing the same thing. Saying shit about me that wasn't true. Talking about shit they wasn't supposed to be talking about. Had a doctor writing about shit he had no goddamn business writing about. What did you put me off my job for? Was it because I was crazy? Or you want to discuss venereal diseases? You all in between my legs. What the fuck did you put me off my job for? Who in the plant wanted me to go to the doctor so he could write all this shit in a report so you can sit back there and read about me and tell it all over the motherfucking plant? That's all this shit was for. And you talking about shit he didn't verify, and it ain't even true. And wrote it in a report. 30 minutes in that motherfucker's office. He wrote a goddamn, I think it was 7, 8 damn page fucking report. Deemed me motherfucking crazy as hell. Need to be on medication. All of them kept telling me I need to be on medication. No, I didn't. Who you thought I was? My name is Juanita Morgan. And I wasn't crazy. It's Dirty Trucking. Peace out.